Hello and welcome to National Focus. I'm Pearl Fontaine. Thank you for joining us. Topping the headlines, activities to mark the 2012 observance of Tourism Awareness Month officially began on Monday. DHTA President calls on nationals to join forces in the fight against crime and a fisheries policy to be developed for Dominica. All these stories and more when National Focus returns.
Hello, I am Bishop Gabriel Malzer, Bishop of Roseau, and I am Dominica. Are you?
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. The Ministry of Tourism, in collaboration with the Discover Dominica Authority, during the month of May will seek to increase public awareness of the tourism industry's economic, cultural and social impact on the island. This is the primary objective of the month-long celebrations of Tourism Awareness Month. The celebration officially began with the 2012 Tourism Industry Awards ceremony, which was held on Monday at the Crazy Coconuts.
We celebrate their achievements knowing that, based on the selection criteria and performance indicators, they have consistently outperformed other players in our sector. This they have managed to do despite the many daily challenges that our operators face, including high operating costs, lack of trained and experienced staff, HR issues, air access issues, the list goes on, as well as the ugly face of crime that has more recently begun to rear its ugly head in Dominica.
Awards at Monday's ceremony were presented to Kashina Joseph for Best Tourism Feature and Idona John Baptist for Best News Report. The Caribbean Tourism Organization and Travel Mole Award and special mention certificates were presented to Mero Enhancement Committee and to the winner of the Heritage Protection Award, the Kalinago Barana Ote. The Rosalie Bay Resort won the award for Accommodation of the Year, Josiane Liogol, Tour Guide of the Year, Peterson Angol, Tourism Taxi Service Provider, Agnita Ito, Tourism Vendor of the Year. The Bellevue Chope Organic Farmers Group won the Community Tourism Development Award, while Wayne James received the Employee Award of the Year. The Armour family received the Director's Award for their ongoing efforts at marketing Dominica as an active, health-conscious eco-tourism destination for over 40 years. Tourism Minister Honorable Ian Douglas commended the awardees for their achievements.
Successful tourism needs more positive solution providers and fewer cynical complainers. Successful tourism business demands less complacency and more assertiveness. Ladies and gentlemen, truly outstanding tourism destinations achieve better results because of more strategic thinking and less reactionary behavior. Well done, and keep striving for greater heights in our industry.
Dominica's Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt had encouraging news for hoteliers.
We have tried our best in difficult circumstances to negotiate for better loan facilities, better interest rates, utilizing the aid bank to facilitate that kind of investment. And we shall continue on that path towards the acquisition of better terms and conditions. And in some cases, we have attracted loans from the Bandes, the bank from Venezuela, and also the European Investment Bank. With the loans from Bandes, we have contracted these loans at 3% with a maximum spread of 3%. to on-lend to the private sector. We are mindful that there are quite a number of plants that are not up to standard. And I have been advised by the Minister of Tourism that these hotels will require some kind of special financing facility to help them in getting up to that standard. And I believe the amounts may be in the region of $20 or so million. I cannot promise you the full $20 million tonight, but I can tell you that in the budget address of this year, you will see a very sizable amount that will be allocated to the ministry, to the tourism industry, to assist the hotel plans that require improvements.
In related news, President of the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, Yvonne Armour, has called on nationals to play their part in national efforts to fight crime. She noted the impact crime could have on the island's tourism industry.
For years, I wish to mention that Dominica has been promoted as a destination offering safe, healthy, active experiences. This reputation we have guarded dearly for so long can quickly be undermined by a few persons involved in criminal and antisocial activity. We simply cannot tolerate this, and we must commend the collaborative initiatives of the Ministry of Tourism, the Attorney General's Office, the DHTA, the DAIC, among others, for addressing this matter with a level of urgency. There is still much to be done, victims to be consoled and supported after the trauma, much damage to undo, many good practices to showcase on behalf of the DHT. Many good practices to showcase. I appeal to all Dominicans to join us in efforts to promote Dominica as a peaceful and healthy destination.
Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt echoed similar sentiments when he addressed Monday's event.
Crime is a societal problem, and therefore it requires a societal response. Spending our time blaming another person or another group or another institution is not going to solve crime. It's a matter for us recognizing that we have to join forces to tell this miscreants and these vagabonds in our society that the Dominican society is not going to tolerate this at all.
More on Monday's award ceremony in Wednesday's newscast. Efforts are on the way to formulate a fisheries and aquaculture policy for the management of fisheries in Dominica. To this end, the Fisheries Division has embarked on a 7-month project sponsored by the European Union under a program called Strengthening Fisheries Management in African, Caribbean and Pacific Countries, ACP. A series of consultations with fishers across the island to get their input into developing such a policy is a priority for government. The first such consultation was held on Monday, at which a number of fisher organizations across the island were represented. Fisheries Officer Norman Norris told the consultation that currently the management and governance of the fisheries sector is without the guidance of any clear documented policy framework. He said there is need to clearly define the policy direction for fisheries management and governance in Dominica.
As you might be aware, Dominica does not have a fisheries policy, and this makes it very challenging for us to operate in the environment that we're in. Many things, need a lot to be desired, and this is why we saw it necessary to present that kind of information to the ACP Fish 2 persons and had them decide to support it.
Under the project, a technical team comprising fisheries and maritime experts, policy makers, fishers and other critical stakeholders has been invited to provide technical support to the consultant spearheading the project.
We want the support, we want the involvement, we want the participation of as many stakeholders as possible. Joe has been here with us for about 2 weeks, and we have been able to meet with many key stakeholders. For example, the Water Sports Association. We've been able to meet with the vet unit and, of course, Forestry Division. We've also been able to pay courtesy calls on the Coast Guard, the Environmental Coordinating Unit, also the Physical Planning Department, and other stakeholders that we have met and gotten their input, Maritime Administration. So there are many stakeholders involved because it's a sector that is very dynamic, and the input from all persons are necessary.
The Fisheries Division will be responsible for the coordination, implementation, and the provision of technical guidance to this project. Senior Fisheries Officer Harold Geist says a fisheries policy for Dominica is necessary.
This is necessary because there are several challenges that we are confronted with when it comes to fisheries development and management. We have to deal with marine biodiversity. We have to deal with infrastructure development. We have to deal with ocean governance in a global environment because we also have international waters. So we have to have policy locally, policies regionally, and policy internationally. And it presents to us a mammoth task as to whether we are doing things properly here and how does it reflect in the international community. So we needed to come together, and we need your input to do that as well. How do you envisage this thing? Well, how do you see it with regards to how we develop certain guiding principles for the development of the industry in Dominica?
Joanna Gascoigne is a fisheries specialist in marine conservation assigned to assist the Fisheries Division in formulating the fisheries policy document. The consultant has been on the island over the past 2 weeks, speaking to a number of stakeholders.
My job here is not to tell any of you what your fisheries policy should be. That's up to you. My job is just as a kind of a coordinator to listen to everybody's views and write them down and help my colleagues in the Fisheries Division to prioritize them, I guess.
The project is expected to come to a close by August 20, 2012. St. Vincent and Grenada are two other countries in the Caribbean region which are currently involved in similar activities to enhance their fisheries sectors. The local government department of the Ministry of Social Services, Community Development and Gender Affairs is celebrating Local Government Month during the month of May. The theme for this year's observance is Consolidating Our Gains, Building Stronger Communities. Minister for Social Services, Honourable Gloria Shillingford, delivered an address to mark the start of the month-long celebration.
Institutionalized local government system has been in Dominica for 125 years. We are indeed proud of this milestone, thus enabling us this year to focus on consolidating these gains and building further on what we are doing in order to have communities that are stronger, more self-reliant, and responsible for their own development. We can boast of the many local authorities that exist at a community level, providing leadership and direction for the implementation of community projects in their respective communities.
The minister says government will continue to take actions geared toward enhancing the local government system.
The Ministry of Social Services, Community Development and Gender Affairs, through the Department of Local Government, has been working consistently on enhancing the local government system in Dominica. You may be aware of the efforts towards local government reform to create an environment more conducive for growth in this sector. The reform is geared at improving the legislative framework of the local government system to ensure that it is modernized and relevant to the times, and that service delivery is much more effective.
Chairperson of the Dominica Association of Local Community Authorities, Hyacinth Thomas, in her address in observance of Local Government Month, spoke of the impact of local authorities and the need for continued training for those involved.
It is my view that local government is not only one of the best examples of democracy in action, but also it has the potential to unite communities. It is for this reason in particular that local authorities must be given the materials and human resources to effect community-based programs. Due to the frequent turnover of councillors, our local authorities need to be continuously trained and empowered in leadership and management skills, as well as skills related to the organization of people and communities on an ongoing basis.
And that's news. When we come back, we'll bring you the upcoming events and government notices. Stay tuned.
Dominica is a blessed land with so much to offer to its citizens and visitors alike. Someone truly experiencing Dominica will feel a sense of renewal, rebirth, rejuvenation, and even a sense of spiritual uplifting. The sound of nature at every turn, and the sights of those pure gifts from above. Hello, I am Bishop Gabriel Malzer, Bishop of Roseau, and I am Dominica. Are you?
You're watching GIS.
Yesterday, we reported that the government of the Republic of China is inviting applications for scholarships. We want to apologize to the government of the People's Republic of China for the error and to the Dominican public for reporting misleading information. However, the government of the Republic of Cuba is inviting applications for scholarships from the citizens of Dominica below the age of 25 years to pursue studies in medicine for the 2012-2013 academic year. Applicants should possess a minimum of 5 CXC passes, including the science subjects with grades 1 and 2 or equivalent qualifications. Application forms, together with copies of curriculum vitae, birth certificate, and certified copies of all academic qualifications, must be submitted to the Permanent Secretary, the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development, Government Headquarters, Roseau, Commonwealth of Dominica. Application forms and further information can be obtained from the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development. The deadline for receipt of applications is May 16, 2012. Public officers must apply through their heads of department. All cocoa farmers of Castle Bruce are kindly asked to attend the Farmers Field School, FFS, on nursery management on Wednesday, May 2, 2012. Farmers are asked to gather at the Castle Bruce Agricultural Office at 9 a.m. Officials from Dexia and the Ministry of Agriculture will be in attendance. Please make a special effort to attend and to be on time. The general public is informed that from May 1st, 2012, the Office of the Waitakubali National Trail Management Unit will no longer be located on Hodges Lane in Roseau. During the week ending May 5, the Management Trail Unit will be moving to its new office location at Pont Cassé, which is expected to interfere with provision of normal services to the public. Effective May 8, the Trail Management Unit will resume normal functioning and will operate from the WNT Research and Interpretation Facility, the headquarters for the trail at Pont Cassé. In addition, the Trail Management Unit will also operate a desk at the Forestry Division on Valley Road, Roseau, for ease of contact, liaison to the main office, and dissemination of information. Information about the trail will also be available at the Tourist Information Center on the Bayfront. Residents of Cochrane are invited to a community meeting on Thursday, May 3rd, 2012 at 6 p.m. at the Cochrane School. The purpose of the meeting is to elect a new Village Improvement Committee. Up next is the tip of the day. In today's tip, we'll discuss how you can save some extra cash. It will take a little work on your part, but those thousands of dollars in savings are what can help you get out of debt earlier, keep you out of debt for several years, and will hopefully help you pay off your recent auto loan soon as well. Make a list before doing any kind of shopping. They call it impulse buying for a reason. Humans simply have a very tough time resisting the temptation to purchase extras while shopping. Without a list, you will buy items that you simply do not need. Even worse is when you forget to purchase the actual item you went to the store for in the first place. If you plan on cooking at home, pre-plan a rough menu and make a list before you go grocery shopping. Getting all that you need in one trip can help avoid another unnecessary trip and temptation. And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions or comments. Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm, or you can visit our website at news.gov.dm. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Pearl Fontaine. Thanks for watching.